In 1996, Vince decided to bring back the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
And at WrestleMania 12, he came back, he beat Triple H.
Mistake.
So when he brought Warrior back, what did you think about it? Did you think that it had a chance to work? And did you have any interactions with him that were memorable?
I tried not to have any interaction with Jim Hellwig. He, like Randy Savage, was a pain in the ass. And maybe a little insane. I thought it was a mistake, obviously, Kenny, to bring Ultimate Warrior back. And I was in charge of talent. And that pissed off the roster. Because I knew he was going to get a ton of money, probably more than anybody there. He's going to work part-time, but he couldn't work. He didn't know how to work. Or if he did, he didn't demonstrate it very often. But he looked good. He looked good. And he had all these crazy ideas and theories. He was like a salesman. He was always talking about something, destrucity. You guys know what destrucity means? Neither does he. But everybody should have destrucity. Maybe we'll get that answered someday.
Did he not have a Warrior University as well?
Have what?
Did he not have a Warrior University?
Investigate.
University, like a college.
What the f***? Kenny, what were you saying? What did you say?
University.
Oh, yeah. I've erased a lot of the Ultimate Warrior memories from my mind. Thanks for bringing them up again. Yeah.
So he only lasted like 4 months in 96. Do you think if he had stuck around, he would have actually done jobs for people, been helpful?
He would no. He'd have done a job if he was asked to do it, but he'd do it begrudgingly, and he wouldn't be his best effort, in my opinion. So I don't think he lasted as long as he. I mean, he killed his own. He killed himself. He no-showed. Didn't come to work, and that's horrible. God damn, what happened to keeping your commitments in life in general? I don't understand it. And I feel like that's where some guys are headed. They're going to be good enough to figure out how to do this half-assed. And that's kind of where we are. But that's what he was. He was no-show in towns, all that. And, of course, he had assistants, and assistants had assistants. They got his schedule several days in advance, and he just ignored them. Or if he didn't like the town because it didn't draw the last time he was there, he ain't going. So it was terrible.
I do need to ask you, I don't know if this is true, but it's circulated online, so it might be true, it might not, and it was a contract, like a photo of a contract with a WWF logo on it, from December 1997 of Vince offering the Warrior a contract, which would have been a month after Montreal and the Bret Hart situation.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, did that really happen? Did Vince really offer Warrior a contract after that?
He might have. He could have. Vince was in desperation mode about that time.
I'm guessing that if Warrior had accepted, you think it would have went the same way that it did before?
I don't know what you said, but nonetheless.
Do you think it would have went the same way if Warrior had come?
Yeah, they're going to fail. If Vince has got any common sense, and he did, and we were rolling, man. I had Steve Austin and Rock and Undertaker and Mick Foley. There's 4 really good baby faces. Not to mention the other guys who were circulating and percolating underneath on that card. You know, the Daniel Bryans of the world, or Brian Daniels of the world, whatever you want to call him. He's great. He's a great talent. And what he does, have him at the house, at the live events is a blessing. He can help anybody, and he will help anybody. And sometimes guys just need to talk. In AEW, I think a lot of guys get paranoid because the schedule is very light. They're not getting enough work. Or they're not working enough to get their bodies where they want it, and their sciaticas and all that stuff. But if you're a top guy in AEW, you're going to make a lot of money, and you're going to do it in shorter days. And believe it or not, guys get paranoid of that. They get scared of it.
In 1996, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash go to WCW. They leave in May of 96. But one of the last things they do is the curtain call at Madison Square Garden with Shawn and Triple H. What do you remember about that happening and the reaction within the company to them all going out and sort of celebrating together?
Well, I was living in Connecticut, again, in charge of the talent roster, talent relations. My wife and I were home, and I got a call on my little cell phone, my flip top, and pretty sure, maybe they called my house. I think they did call my house, because my wife, Jan, my late wife, she said, I think Bruce called me from the garden and just used a hard line on his end. So anyway, I took the call and couldn't believe what they did. And it's just tasteless. It's not cool. It's not being, an individual expressing oneself. In today's world, you could make all kinds of excuses that sound good and probably would hold up in court without question. But it was embarrassing, and it's humiliating, and it's wrong. Just a bad look. And I fought for guys to speak up and say their piece, and do these things. We had wrestlers' court when I was in charge. That was also very good because it was based on more truth than somebody that wasn't putting out, wasn't working hard. If they didn't work hard with Steve or Rock or Taker or Mick. That's pretty sad, because all those guys are top guys. If they stuck with Triple H, that's not good, because he was our top heel after Vince sets aside. We had two great heels in that Attitude Era, I thought. One was Triple H, one was Vince. And not in that order, by the way. But I saw where Triple H is going to go into the Hall of Fame. Very deserved. Don't you guys think? I do. I haven't been around them much since I went to work at AEW for some reason. So,
But Triple H was one of the people punished for the curtain call, right? He was going to win King of the Ring. It didn't happen. But it was tough because Shawn Michaels was the WWF champion, so you couldn't really do much to him at that point for what happened at Madison Square Garden.
you could have, if the front office had balls, you beat his ass with a believable scenario, and let him chase the title, and not be the destination, be the chaser, and that would work marvelously, in my opinion. So, but there's ways to punish. We didn't exercise any of those rights to Shawn, because Vince always told me that Attitude Era Shawn reminded Vince of Vince when Vince was a teenager in early 20s at the academy, military academy. And that was another part of Vince's life he didn't talk about much, but he got in some trouble. He got kicked out. I think he got court-martialed or something out of military school. I was driving with him one day, and I said, how the do you get court-martialed in military school? It's a good story, I guess, if you believe it. Court-martialed. Did they kill you? No.